Hello, welcome. Thank you for being here for what is sure to be a fascinating and I'm sure inspiring discussion about artwork with some really talented artists. Uh, my name is Stephen Snyder. I am the Gallery and Communications Manager for the West Vancouver Community Arts Council, and we are really thrilled to be able to present the exhibition In Harmony featuring our very talented artists. If you have any questions or comments, please drop those in the chat, and we will get to that throughout our talk. I would just like for us to take a moment to recognize that the silk purse here in what is currently known as West Vancouver is on the unceded and traditional territories of the Squamish Nation. And the Arts Council recognizes how much of a privilege it is to be here on these beautiful lands and to celebrate all kinds of arts and culture with and alongside our host nations and neighbors. So In Harmony, which you can see a little bit of it behind me here at the Silk Purse, is on until April the 6th. So please come on down and check it out. It features three incredible artists, Therese Joseph, Lynn Lee, and Zimu Lee, and they're all doing really interesting things with imagery and symbolism and design and color. And we're going to get all into it and hear all about what they have to say about their artwork. First up, we're going to meet our artists. So they're going to say a little bit about who they are and tell us a bit about them. Let's start with Therese. Could you please tell us a bit about you?
Okay. Well, let's start from the beginning. I was born and raised and educated in Switzerland. In my young 20s, I moved to Canada and have actually always lived in North Vancouver, never really anywhere else. I then raised my two boys, and after finishing the high school, I decided that just one day out of the blue that I'm gonna go to a mixed media art course. And that's what I did. And I never regretted it. In other words, it changed my life. I'm actually a teacher by profession. I did teach kindergarten in Switzerland, and when I came here, I couldn't really use my diploma. So I decided to take things into my own hands, and I opened two before and after school care activity centers. So there I did a lot of art and crafts with the children, while I had other 5 employees that looked after them as well. So this business, I did that for 13 years. And when I sold the business, I decided to change my basement into an art room and invite the children to come and learn how to do art, actually really painting with all kinds of mixed media materials. The sky's the limits. And I did that for several years. Also did a lot of community art projects here on the North Shore. And I was a co-founder of a group called the Five Senses. We were 5 ladies from the North Shore who exhibited together and painted together and went on little trips together. And that lasted for about something like 5 years. And how life goes, nothing is always stays the same. Some had to move on, and a lot of them actually are still artists and painting independently. And yeah, so that's when I did that professionally until some things happened in my life. My husband actually passed away, and I had to kind of regroup and see what do I want to do now. And I just decided to keep painting because that's what I need to do. I need to create and invent and basically be active with my hands, and painting is one of them. I do a lot of other things as well, but painting is my main creative activity. So that's a little bit about me.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing, Therese. Next up, Lynn Lee, if you could say a little bit about you. And joining Lynn is her daughter, Diddy, who might help out here and there.
Yeah, my name is Lynn Lee. I born in China, Shanghai. I immigration to the Canada over 10 years, and I love the natural. So I love the flower, birds, and a lot of animal. So I paint and I enjoyed painting. Uh, so a lot of uh flower and the birds. Um, I really the China is the painting is different oil. So I mixed the art local artist the opinion and use my painting and I use the color different color and a different scale to painting my uh draw paintings artwork. So I have an opinion to the my maybe 4 years ago I painting my art on the back. So I think it's my I think this is a good idea. Somebody can bring the art everywhere. So sorry, my English is a little bit so. I think this is not a lot. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's all.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
And last but certainly not least, Zimu, could you please tell us a bit about you?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Zimu Li, and you can call me Jasmine. I'm a traditional Chinese fine brush painting artist with the touch of surrealism. And I studied Chinese painting at Tianjin Academy of Fine Art in China, where I built a strong foundation in traditional techniques. Later, I moved to Canada and earned a visual art diploma from Vancouver Island University in Nanaimo, which helped me explore new artistic perspective and develop my own style. For my work, um, I my style is a combination with the Chinese traditional techniques and the contemporary art in the Western style. And also, my in I my for my interested the in theme of growth transformations and the spirituality and also um mm, and also I like the soft color gold leaf and very shining elements in my paintings. Yeah, that's it.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you all for sharing. It's great to catch a little bit of insights into where you've been and where you are now. So now for everyone watching, we're going to take a quick tour of the exhibition so you can get a bit of a sample of what it'll be like to see it. But I really encourage you all to come down in person because it's a real stunning exhibition, and the video doesn't do these beautiful images as much justice as they deserve. So here is In Harmony here at the Silk Purse. Just a quick overview of the show. You know, our great little waterfront gallery, which looks right out onto the water. We're surrounded by nature, which is a recurring motif in the artworks by our artists. So we start off, if you come in off the waterfront, with that great koi painting from Zimu, and then we move on to some of Lynn's great work. And then after that, we get into some of Therese's pieces. So it's a pretty interesting exhibition. None of these artists knew each other beforehand. The Arts Council, we put them together after a call for artists. And you're all coming from your art making from very different points of views and styles, but I think there's something really lovely and, kind of as the title suggested, harmonious about how you all fit together. And I think you can see that in this tour. You all have a very strong sense of composition and color and design, as well as your nature imagery that you're using. And that was some more of Zimu's pieces, and then another one of hers. And then we move on to some more works by Lynn. And it's very interesting. We might get into this a little bit later, but and some work from Therese. There's a lot of really interesting details in these pieces, right? At first glance, everything maybe looks very elegant, but maybe very stylized and simple. But once you get up, you can see all of these things, like these great intricate patterns in these feathers, all the various really tiny brush strokes in Lynn's pieces, and as well as in Zimu, all the great little details. So it's a really fascinating exhibit to spend time with. And some more of Lynn's work here. The exhibit closes out with that great piece of Therese's. So that's just a quick snapshot of the exhibition. Really beautiful and exciting.
It was very nice to see it this way. Could really appreciate the details, sitting back, relaxing, and it was great.
Excellent. And just a little reminder to anyone watching live, if you have questions or comments, drop those in the chat. Next, each of our artists has chosen one of their artworks to talk a little bit more in depth about, to sort of see where they're coming from as an artist in the body of work that they're representing. So let's start with Zimu. I'm going to pull up your painting right now, and if you could tell us about this wonderful piece of art.
Okay, and for this one, the subject in the middle is a white deer, which is called 9-color deer in China. This one is inspired by Chinese mythology and spiritual symbolism. And the 9-color deer is a legendary creature that represent wisdom, compassion, and protection. I combine traditional Chinese painting style with surreal elements to create this atmosphere. And the moon in the middle is and the floating hands in the what's that up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah, to create is a symbol from Buddha. The hand posture is same with the Buddha's hand posture. And also for this painting, I will make an atmosphere of a connection between natural, fate, and like the universe. For the black color can represent the universe. And for the techniques, I use black ink in the background and the mineral pigment for the golden hand and the moon and the eyes, and use the Chinese pigment for the deer on the paper. And I'm not sure if you can see it very clearly. In the middle here, there's some star. Yeah, actually they are 3D. So if you see it in the real exhibition, I mean the original painting, you can see the stars pop up and have some reflection because I use the mineral pigment. For the techniques, I want to make a dreamlike feeling, so I use some shining stuff on here. And for the fine line, here reflects traditional fine brush Chinese painting techniques. And for the dark background can bring a modern style. So that's a twist between traditional Chinese style and the contemporary style. I think that's it. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. And yeah, like you said, when you see it in person, those little stars in the background behind the deer, and even all the blue shiny points, they have a great three-dimensionality to them, and it's pretty great. I'm curious about your work is very much about bringing different elements together, right? This tradition and contemporary art styles, this celestial and the natural. I'm curious as to why that's kind of important to you. Why do you feel the need to bring all of these different elements together, or what inspired you to do that?
I think maybe because Because of my age, I think, because the Chinese traditional style is very like old school for me, and and I think I need to bring some new stuff in it. Yeah, and I very like the vivid color and some like super flight style. Do you know that?
Yes.
Yeah. And for the super flat style, everything is colorful and vivid. But in Chinese traditional style, everything is like soft color or black and white. So, for me, for my personal, I like the vivid color. So that's why I combine those two style together.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
No, great, great piece. Next, let's do Lynn. I've got your piece here. Let me just pull that up.
I'm going to helping my mom to explain this piece, and she wrote some words, and I just going to read it out for you guys.
Wonderful. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay. So, hello everyone. I want to talk about this painting. This is one of my favorite pieces. It shows a small deer, a bird, and a peach tree. I love to paint nature, and this painting represents my lifestyle. In Chinese art, peaches are a symbol of long life and good luck. The deer is a gentle and peaceful animal, and the birds added a feeling of movement and freedom. I want to show a calm and happy moment in nature. For this painting, I used Chinese ink and Chinese pigment colors. I used a soft brush stroke to make the painting feel light and natural. The empty space is important in Chinese painting. It gives the feeling of peace and balance. My inspirations comes from both traditional Chinese painting and my personal feeling about nature. In Chinese art, nature is very important. Artists often paint mountains, trees, flowers, and animals to express emotions. I was inspired by old Chinese painting that shows harmony between nature and life. In this painting, every element, tree, bird, animal, feels connected. I want to create the same feeling in my artwork. I also found inspiration from my daily life. When I walk outside, I love to watch bird and animal. One day, I saw a small little deer in the of in my backyard, and I saw many birds every day, including hummingbirds.
Yes.
So that's why they makes me feel very peaceful and happy. I try to bring this feeling into my paintings. Finally, I want my art to make people feel calm and connected to nature. In today's world, life can be very busy and stressful. I hope my paintings give people a moment to slow down, to breathe, and enjoy beauty of nature. That's all. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, it's interesting, Lynn and Zimu, you both come from this sort of traditional backgrounds and techniques, but you're putting your own very unique spins on things and sort of taking it out of those confines. Which is very cool. And Lynn, obviously you're inspired by all of these wonderful things around you. But I have to say, in particular, your animals have a real sense of character about them. Have you always really kind of focused on those elements of your artwork on the animals?
龙是不
And
是
why?
精致的给个激动的或者那种的很生分活力？对
Yes. Yes.
嗯， Yes, because we love animals, we have cats and dogs, and we used to have birds at home. And when we are very young, like when my mom,
Grandfather.
yeah, my grandfather, he has like little dogs, chickens like that. So we live with animals all the time. And so that's why she think like little animals, the wild animals, they are all, you know, they they give her like a feeling of hearing. And also like when we see those animals, we forgot the stress from the daily life. So that's why she loves to put animals in her paintings.
So it seems not only when you're working, you want the finished piece to evoke sort of a sense of peace with the viewers, but it sounds like creating it also achieves that for you as well, correct?
Right. Yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. And now Therese has chosen an incredible piece as well. All of the artwork, it must have been hard to choose a piece. You all have such really interesting things. I'm sure you could say a lot about all of your artwork. Awesome. So Therese, could you please tell us about this piece?
My approach is very different and not at all traditional. Because why I paint is because to express myself and invent and create things that I have not seen or come across before. It has to be always something new and different, and that's just what drives me. So this painting has evolved from I have to say I'm doing right now my latest series of artwork. I always work in series. Is feathers, and the first feathers were quite much more sort of abstract, which is really more my style usually, to just kind of go from within and paint freely and see where the painting takes me. So, and then I started reading up on feathers. I started looking at feathers on the internet and just reading. And I really came to the realization how amazingly intricate and detailed a feather is. And even each little tiny little, I don't know what to call them, like strand, is almost looks like a feather in itself. And the designs are endless. And I just felt at some point I want to bring those details and that amazing the colors and the patterns. I just want to integrate that into my artwork and give those feathers some justice, because they're just beautiful, and we have such amazing birds on this planet I just got inspired by that. So I started, this particular piece is my latest one of the series called Feathers. And I wanted to create a very soft, flowing, kind of slow dance coming down from the sky. Like the birds have given a feather of their choice and just let it go while they were in flight, and it just ever so gently falls down and comes to us. And then I created these feathers purely from imagination. The shapes and the way I organized them, it just all came from one thing to another. It's kind of like one brush stroke, and one thing gives me the idea of where to go next. So I have painted these feathers, kind of first, of course, sketched them in the form itself and how I wanted them to drift on a very soft blue background, just there. And then I started giving them a little bit more details and colors. And then I painted in the background again, and then I came back to the feathers again. And then each feather took a lot of time creating these designs. And these designs are done with acrylic paint, but also acrylic, a very liquid paint with a super, super fine brush. It's almost like a few hairs. And in some cases, I used also acrylic pens that I got from the Opus store. They have a great selection there. So I created these all by hand, one thing to another, and just kept going and creating the movement and the thing. And then when I looked at these feathers when the painting was done, and I felt I think it's finished, I softened the sky a little bit more with a very fine brush, sort of to create that kind of softness. And I wanted it, as I said before, I wanted them to kind of gently kind of dance and move down from the sky. I do listen to classical music from time to time, and I know there is a piece of music, but I couldn't remember what it was, that I really, really loved and reminded me of the feathers, so the way I had it in my memory. And I searched a lot and listened to many pieces, and I found it. So it was Claude Debussy's Reverie, and I named the painting after that piece of music. So if whoever wants to buy this painting will pull up the music and look at it while the music is playing. And I feel it's really moving very well with these feathers. It's just the same feeling I get from the music, from that amazing piece of music. And when I look at the image, to me, it's in sync. So that's about what I have to say.
Definitely. Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing. We have a lot here at the Silk Purse. We have a lot of classical concerts. So
Yeah.
it's right in. I'm curious, Therese, about your designs and your patterns. Where does that come from? How do you choose kind of what design is going to go where, or is it intuitive? If you just talk a little bit more about how that comes.
Yeah, it's all intuitive. And I start somewhere. Like for example, I look for maybe the bigger parts first and fill in a design, create one, and then I'll see where I'm gonna put the next one. Look at the shape and follow the curve of the feather. It's one thing leads to another, and then you can always add more. So I usually start with the more bolder parts, or maybe the outline of a shape, and then decide whether I want to be intricate on the inside of that shape or keep it simple. I also like variety, and yet I like repetition and harmony in my paintings as well. So I then look, when I create one feather, I also look at the others and see how can I do the same, but different. That's kind of how I approach it. It needs to have some sort of repetition, but that is different. Harmony and patterns that resemble each other, but are unique. Each one is unique in its own. It's kind of how I just intuitively do it. Yeah.
That's so interesting because in a lot of your pieces there might be maybe not exactly the same but similar shapes, and rhythms to some of the patterns. So it's this underlying senses of design that you seem to be drawn towards, and it's kind of maybe, you know, repeat every once in a while in a different painting.
Mhm. I mean, I have I love details.
Yeah.
But and I sometimes, you know, do get really hung up on the details, but that depends. Sometimes it's good to really zoom into details, but sometimes you also need to get that distance and leave the details alone and just paint from your gut. So it's for me, it's sometimes when I paint, I usually start out very free and just like I always say, I paint from my belly button. And then when that is over, then I kind of come in with the details later. But even as a child, I was always drawn to patterns and designs and create different ones, and like the sky is the limit. As a young girl, I actually wanted to be a fabric designer. I could use things like this to create beautiful fabrics as well.
Yeah, you could definitely see that in your work. Excellent. Well, thank you all for sharing those really fascinating insights into your work. And it's interesting to hear some of the commonalities, even though you all do such different things. You know, detail and using these really fine brushes and the sort of balance that you're all sort of trying to find between feeling and technique, the more logical sides. All stuff you all seem to really have in common, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, so that was yeah, some really great insights. Thank you all for sharing that. It was
You're
great
welcome.
to get a peek inside. Sorry, I muted myself there. Sorry. Thank you all. I don't know how much anyone heard of anything. But yeah, it's been a really fascinating conversation. And I don't know if anyone had any final thoughts or words they'd like to share about their work or other artists' work, or any parting words for anyone watching. And if you don't, that's fine. But yeah, I think it's a really beautiful and elegant and interesting exhibit. So I really hope everyone watching can come on down to the Silk Purse before April the 6th to see In Harmony, featuring our incredible artists, Therese Joseph, Lynn Lee, and Zimu Lee, and really experience these really magical pieces. We had an introduction with our volunteers today to tell them about the exhibit, and those are some of the words that kept coming up was magical and peaceful and beautiful. And so it's and a lot of our visitors so far, the show's been up for a week, have responded very, very positively to it. So thank you for sharing your artwork with us and with the community.
Yeah, it was also very nice getting to know the other ladies, the other artists. We had a nice chat at the opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all great. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, so thank you, Therese, Lynn, Zimu, and Diddy for being here and having this fantastic conversation with us. And thank you to everyone watching. Just a reminder, yeah, come on and check out In Harmony at the Silk Purse on until April 16th. Until the next time we have another exhibition and another artist talk, stay creative and stay inspired. Thanks so much. Take care.
Thank you.